Hi everybody. Right, okay, so today we're going to do Chinese style boiled rice. So today what you're going to need, spot saucepan with a lid, a sieve, I'll show you why, tin foil, a cup which you're going to use to measure the rice, and obviously we're going to use rice. Going to pour the rice so it fills about halfway. Half a cup is about enough for one person. A full cup is enough, obviously, for two people. The rice, you can see, it's got like a yellowish texture. I choose, because it's my own personal preference, American long grain rice. Always choose the stuff that looks like a yellowish, clear, see-through colour. That's best rice for me personally to use for cooking. Also going to need tin foil. So the first thing we're going to need to do is wash the rice. So I'll put it in the sieve, put it in the pan. So what we want to do, we're going to start filling this pan up with like a room temperature water, so not too cold, so otherwise it's just makes your hands numb, but like room temperature. What we're doing here is we're going to get rid of all the starch. Oh, well, as much as possible as we can anyway, at least. Just get that right. Yep, that's about right. Okay, so what I'm doing now, just going to wash the rice. We're going to do this about 3 or 4 times. So as you can see, the cloudy water, that's all the starch from the rice. So what we're doing, we're just getting as much of that starch out as possible. And what I'm doing is I'm actually scraping the rice to the bottom of the sieve. So it's basically rubbing against the sieve, and that'll help it release all that starch. And then I'm going to just empty it like that. Just put that there for a second. And look at all that dirty water from the starch. We're going to get rid of that. And we're going to do that process again. So I'm just doing it a third and final time. What you'll see now is the water should be kind of clear. All right, it's still going to have starch in it. You're never going to be able to get rid of it all. But it should look a bit more clear. See, I'm still washing. And as you can see, yeah, that's as clear as it's going to go. So let's sort this out. So what I'll do, just drain it one more time. Just empty the water out. Now what we're going to do, obviously I'm going to put the rice straight into the pan. Get excess rice out. Yeah, that's all good. Now here, I'm going to put it on a cold. And I'm going to fill the rice up now. You see, I'm only putting a drizzle of the water in because I just want to get all that rice to the bottom. Okay, let's put a bit more water in. When we fill this up, just make it so that the rice is all nice and straight at the bottom of the pan. And you only want about ½ inch of water covering the rice, because what we're going to be doing is we're going to be steam cooking this. So that's ready to cook. So I'm going to put it on the highest setting on the old cooker. And what I'll do is we're going to let that boil, and we do not touch the rice whatsoever. We do not add any flavor. We don't add pepper. We don't add rice. We just leave it as it is. So what we're going to do now is we're going to let this boil. And then once it starts boiling, we're going to keep letting it boil until there's craters. So as you can see, it's starting to heat up. Like I said, do not touch the rice. Do not stir it. Don't do anything to it. In a second, once this starts boiling out, once we get those craters, we're going to put the tin foil on top, and then we're going to put the lid on top of that, and we're going to steam cook this for about 20 minutes, 15 to 20 minutes roughly. So it's now boiling, and what we want to do is we want to let the water reduce. So at the moment, it's boiling quite happily. Once that goes down, you'll see it'll start making little craters within the rice. Once it makes those craters, that's when we actually turn the heat down to low. We'll put the lid on with the tin foil, and we're going to start letting it cook, steam. We're going to let that happen for about a minute. I'm just slowly blowing the water vapor just so I can see inside. Don't worry about the rice sticking to the bottom of the pan. Once it starts steaming, it will become loose once we actually take it, once it's finished cooking. It's not going to burn the bottom of the pan, I can guarantee that. So hopefully you should be able to see this, but it started to make a little crater, so if I just blow it. Oh, nope, can't see anything. You see all those, it's starting to make little craters inside there. There you go. So that's about right. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put the heat on a very low setting to about 1, if you've got a gas mark, as low a setting as possible. I'm just going to take it slightly half off the heat a second. What we'll do now is pop that on there, the tin foil, and then we're going to pop the lid on top. That will hopefully cause a vacuum seal. As you can see, it's still only about half on. Then what I'm going to do is set the timer to 16 minutes. And then what I'll do, when it gets to 15 minutes, we're just going to turn the heat completely off. And then it'll just steam cook itself. Okay, so now we're about 15 minutes. So what I'll do now, I'm just going to completely turn the heating off. And we're going to leave it. That's it. Just keep it on that stove part though, on top of your induction or your gas, whichever one you've got. And now just let that do it for 15 minutes. And it's just going to steam cook. Okay. So now that should be done. So let's have a look. So let's just take it off completely. Just need to get a fork. Let's take this off. Take that off. Oh, look at that steam. And look at that rice. So now all I have to do. Oh, that's perfectly cooked rice. You see how it's all just loosened up with the fork? So there we go. And as I said before, doesn't stick to the bottom. There we go. The rice, it looks like it should be slightly sticky, so only slightly, but it just comes apart together. Look at that, it looks perfect. There you go. If you like this video, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Thank you.